It starts with Inspector 29. Her nervous ticks and squinting eyes going bad on the search for the wayward thread or almost invisible discoloration. Or should I say it starts with the apparel on their hopeful parade from production line to seller's rack. There's always somebody judging, saying yay or nay, fast track or going nowhere fast, fine department store or strip mall, cheap boutique. As for me, you'll know me by the labels on the clothes I wear, gathering up the also-rans, the factory seconds that stumbled under scrutiny, I who was always the last to be chosen for the blacktop kickball teams. I celebrate irregulars. Those mail-order pantyhose marked down for their slightly wavering seams, the snags that only Inspector 29 can see, the skirt unevenly pieced together by the anonymous sweatshop sewing machine operator who must have had a really rough night. I welcome their cut-rate selves into my home. Sisters in imperfection, standard bearers, and tainted saints of human error. Once, my breasts were a perfectly matched set. But life comes along with its caustic shadows. Life comes along with its caustic shadows on mammograms, its ambiguous cysts. Life with its imperfect science, the winking of uncertain stars. Like those forced choices where vanity meets cancer and a face-off for a good night's sleep. And next day, when you wake up, you find your right breast sporting a jagged new smile, sagging a bit smaller than the left. Thankful for it. After a while, you hardly notice the difference. There are times I see Inspector 29 in my dreams, smug as the angel of cleanliness buzzing about the right hand of God. She plucks me easily out of a lineup of department store wannabes, with my collection of scars, my uneven teeth, and too big smile, my piles of papers cluttering every available surface. She drops me into a large vat, along with all the other misfits, where we are slapped with irregular labels, inspected by 29, loaded into boxcars and destined for bargain basements. We are assured, if merchandise doesn't move within 30 days, further markdowns will be taken. One is the piece that has the line after which the book is named. The poem is not named the same thing as the book, just to confuse you. It's called Without Warning. And there's something that I need to share with you, two things about the origins of this poem. I was doing a reading to New England down to New York. And it was not that long after 9/11, and there were two things that I noticed. One thing was that I had to make a change in trains at the World Trade Center stop, and I was surprised, actually it was 2 years after. I was surprised that it still was called the World Trade Center stop. And then I looked behind me as I waited at the map, and I realized, much to my chagrin, not at all, I thought this was very cool, that if you look at the map of New York City, it looks kind of like Manhattan is like this penis and this like boss. So now you're all going to go home and the city, and so there. After that searing knee to the groin of the city, Manhattan lays flaccid against the tender balls of Brooklyn. 2 years later, the stop on the subway map remains unaltered by a namesake reduced to rubble and ash. And now I find the street connecting here to where I want to go is arrowed in the wrong way, only there is no certainty in maps. Neither in the latitude of asteroids nor the longitude of wind, the terminal gates are always changing. In Lowell, a textile mill stands empty, the town a thin and haggard shadow of itself. Down the road, my early stomping grounds have been paved over, the hippie head shop now an outlet for cellular phones. No refuge in the friendly delicatessen where I brewed 10,000 pots of steaming Java, recently replaced by a 3-story bookstore with baristas fixing lattes inside. New highways cut through cornfields and forests. Subdivisions sprout as if from acorns in formerly unincorporated townships. Roads end without warning, change names for no apparent reason. Boundaries are renegotiated. Everywhere, latter-day Magellans trade in their compasses for user-friendly satellite technology. But where is the floor plan that tells me where to put my feet? The sign that whispers, do not enter before I go too far. There is no certainty in maps, no telling what they will not tell, no way to know except by going. So I'm actually going to get a little weirder. Because what happens in this book is it spanning poems written over the course of about 10 years. Is when I started, I was really more influenced by performance poetry, and then kind of moved all over to more experimental, innovative stuff. And this poem, Serial, which comes in 2 parts, is based on a metaphor I've shared with my clients over time about relationships. And it starts with an epigraph by Henry Higgins from My Fair Lady, which says, Pickering, why can't a woman be more like a man? In love, I find your right leg in my Levi's, my left in your Lee's. We are a 3-legged race at an Independence Day barbecue. This never goes well. I start over with somebody new, each craving the taste of the other. He is lean corned beef. I am thick Jewish rye. Life is our delicatessen. We eat ourselves sick. Hours later, one of us gets a taste for Italian, the other's in the mood for Thai. We wake, sheets still bearing the creases, each learning to walk alone again. Another chapter. Merrily, 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 I dream a double helix, he 2 tops spinning side by side. With man, the problem is monolith. With woman, the problem is bottomless trough. You Stonehenge, I spit. You Marianas Trench, she snarls. He sticks my tongue out, says everything bounces off me and sticks to you. Beyond babble. Bricks, bats, cats, dogs. Which one of us uttered these things? We wake with our own words in our own mouths. Echoes inundate the room.